And then I would like to add an item to new business tonight, if the council would like to do so, that we discuss the videoing of council meetings. I spoke to the mayor, Paola. I think Michelle, you spoke to Randy, the city manager, Paola, about what they use to video it. I know it's something we've talked about for years, and thinking that we would remodel Memorial Hall or wherever we were going to remodel the chamber for council meetings. But I believe what they use in Paola is an easy enough solution to the problem where we could start videoing them sooner than the remodel or changing of where we get these meetings happen. So I would like to add that to item F under new business as a no action item, just to discuss that a little bit further if the council would like to do so. So that being said, consent agenda items will be acted upon one motion unless a council member requests an item be removed for discussion.
Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented with the additional item.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Jacobson, second by Councilman Ennis, to approve the consent agenda as presented with the addition of item F. Is there any other questions or comments from council? Madam Clerk?
Councilor Basic?
Aye.
Councilor Dean?
Aye.
Councilor Davidson?
Aye.
Councilor Ennis?
Aye.
Councilor Breton?
Aye.
Councilor Philpin? Aye. Councilor Caldwell?
Motion carries. We will move on to comments from the public. Citizen participation will be limited to 5 minutes. Please stand to be recognized if you have a comment. Pastor Walkland, do you have something you would like to discuss? Tell us what's going on with the church.
Thank you. The church is doing well, but I just wanted to thank the community support. Yesterday we went to the ball game and we had several churches in our community working together to bring some food and games as a tailgate party. I think it was pretty successful. We had a lot of fun. And I can tell you that the teams and the teachers and everybody that was coming by for food were very appreciative, very thankful. It was really good to see that kind of a spirit within our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public?
Go out there, can I?
Yeah, Sean, if you just kind of want to wheel over here, or come over here a little bit so we can, maybe we can hear you a little better.
I just wanted, like a couple months ago, the city posted about doing the pedestrian walkways. I just want to see where that's at, and like once funding support is, we get to decide where we need to go on the design process. So I just wanted an update on where that progress is. So are we still looking for funding, or is that kind of bound?
Yes, so we're still in conversations with the railroad about that. Part of the issue that we've run into is they own all of the right-of-way between 7th Street and basically where the buildings begin, between 7th and 6th. And they no longer allow new structures to go in their right-of-way. So we contacted a structural engineer and talked about just trying to add a pedestrian pathway onto the existing overpass. The way the overpass was built, it is unable to take larger vehicles, and the concern is if we add something to it, that would reduce its capacity even further. And so the suggestion was not to add anything to that structure. So now what we're looking at with the railroad is either seeing if they will give us a permit to go ahead and build within the right-of-way. And a couple of the options that they've given us include closing a crossing. So that would be closing Pacific or Brown in order to help fund and allow us to build in the right-of-way by using our right-of-way instead. So we're still in discussions with them about that. Obviously, closing a roadway is not our favorite solution to it. So the other option that they've presented us with is gathering the funding to just rebuild the the overpass entirely, so that it's built with the pedestrian overpass as part of the structure, and that would make it structurally sound all the way through for both things. So that's a more expensive option, so we're looking for the funding, but I have submitted to start the permitting process on that particular option. And I got an email from our government rep with Union Pacific this week that listed out a couple other grant options that he thought we should apply for. So we're chasing the money for it, but our engineers think that the rebuild could cost upwards of $5 million. So we're going to have to really seek some extra funding for that, because that's not something that we can just pay out of the general fund at this point in time. So we're chasing it, don't have funding secured yet, have two options, following both. The other update I had on that for today that I was going to talk about in staff reports is I did talk with General Transportation, and they are okay with us putting up signs that have their hours and their phone number, and they will respond to anyone who calls who's stuck, stranded by a train, and take them over the overpass. So we're going to work on getting those signs up. Obviously, I don't know exactly their hours, so that won't work for everything, but hopefully that'll help some people that are stranded. And their vans do have the wheelchair accessibility.
My other thing I talked to Derek about this is the crosswalks, and I believe so, I mean, I've sent him a list of streets and that intersect with Main Street that don't have them, but I just haven't seen anything done with them. So is that going to happen, or?
Some of the crosswalks on your list are getting painted with the TA project that's supposed to bid in December. And so we're waiting for those to paint them. I will say that if there is a ramp on each side of the street, it is a legal crosswalk even if it is not painted, so.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of them it's just, there's a crosswalk on each side, and then one side just doesn't have it, but it's going from sidewalk to sidewalk. Like here at 11th and Main, there's crosswalks here and going across Main Street, but there's no one
Nothing across 11th.
on the other side of Main. And the same way there at 10th.
We can look at getting those painted.
Okay.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. I think another point to that, when you talked about $5 million, I know me and Brett talked this week, and he kind of did just a quick look at what that would be, and it was between a 10 and 12 mil increase
Yes.
to the taxes we pay for that pedestrian at $5 million. So we definitely need to seek out other funding for that versus us just doing it. Is there any other comments from public? Okay. We'll move on to looks like we have one proclamation.
We have one proclamation. Proclamation issued by the Mayor and City Council. Whereas the month of October has been recognized as National Arts and Humanities Month by thousands of arts and cultural organizations, communities, and states across the country, as well as by the White House and Congress for more than 2 decades. And whereas the arts and humanities embody much of the accumulated wisdom, intellect, and imagination of humankind. And whereas the arts and humanities enhance and enrich the lives of every Kansan and American. And whereas the arts and humanities play a unique role in the lives of our families, our communities, and our country. And whereas Osawatomie, through our local museums, historical society, art commission, library, and many other groups and individuals, has celebrated the value and importance of culture in our community every day. And whereas the arts and humanities help strengthen our economy in ways big and small. Now, therefore, be it resolved that he, Nick Hampson, Mayor of the City of Osawatomie, does hereby proclaim October 2025 as National Arts and Humanities Month, and calls upon our citizens to celebrate and promote the arts and culture in our community, and to specifically encourage those citizens to take action for the arts and humanities in our hometown and in our state. In witness thereof, he will hereunto set his hand and cause the seal of the city of Osawatomie, Kansas to be affixed this 9th day of October, 2025.
Thank you, Lauren. Do we have a motion to approve the signature on that?
I move that we approve the signature for proclamation on arts and humanity. Second.
Got a motion by Council Lady Caldwell, a second by Council Lady Philpin to approve the mayor to sign the proclamation for Arts and Humanities Month. Is there any other questions or comments from council? Madam Clerk?
Councilor Mason?
Aye.
Councilor Dean?
Aye.
Councilor Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilor Anderson? Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Surprise. Councilor Bradford?
Aye.
Councilor Philippa?
Aye.
Councilor Caldwell?
Aye.
Motion carries. We will move on. Is that your one?
Real quick. Thank you, Council, for recognizing National Arts and Humanities Month. I just wanted to take a quick second to reiterate why it's important for our community. Just this last weekend, the Arts Commission, 2 members of which are here, hi guys, we hosted Porch Fest, and that was a wild success. We had about 200 people come out for a wonderful afternoon of free entertainment and community building in a beautiful neighborhood. Kathy's grandson performed, and he did great. So that's one piece of our arts and culture here in Osawatomie. A second piece is we are hoping to host a film company from the UK at the cabin next week. They are doing a special about the 250th anniversary of America. And one of their episodes will feature the Underground Railroad and John Brown prominently. So they are hoping to come film with us next week. And then a third piece, of course, the library. I'd be remiss to not mention that. We are also hosting a fundraiser November 1st for our expansion planning effort, because our library is used now more than it ever has been, and we could use your support in that as well. So thank you, Council, for recognizing our communities in Osawatomie. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Looks like we have no unfinished business, so we'll move to new business. Item A, Resolution 1321, standardization of appointed boards and commissions.
Back in August of last year, we put together and brought before council, Sam did most of the work on this actually, the standardization of appointed boards and commissions. Recently, it came to our attention that there are a couple places where the planning commission, which has codes that govern it, and that document did not completely align. So what this what this resolution brings forward is to just realign the languages where what's in the standardization document is exactly the same as what we already have in the code for the planning commission. And so that would go and then govern all of our boards and commissions under that same language. And the two things that are clarified are terms. All this really changes is it allows anyone who's been appointed to a board or commission to continue to serve in that capacity after their term expires, unless they are replaced or voluntarily remove themselves from that position. And then also vacancies, it just further clarifies what a vacancy is. That's really it.
I know we have trouble sometimes getting people to apply to this kind of stuff, but if somebody gets on and they can just stay on forever, isn't that kind of maybe not a good thing?
They can't stay on forever. The standardization does have options for removing someone. There's a couple different things, such as if they don't show up to meetings or a vote of the council. So it's not a blanket, you get to stay on forever. What it does prevent is us having to come every year with a list of appointees that we're reappointing for the council to approve every single year. And if the council would rather do that, that's fine. We'll want to amend then the planning commission so that everybody's on the same page. The planning commission already functions under that continuous cycle.
Are terms on the boards all the same length?
They are not. they're listed as, let me look in here, the Arts Commission is 2 years, Planning and Zoning is 3, the Board of Zoning Appeals is 3, there's no term specified for the Building Code Board of Appeals, Tourism is 2, Trails is 2, and then the library has a 4. They're governed by other rules as well.
So if somebody gets appointed, they can stay on even after their term expires.
Yes, as long as they are not removed by that board by breaking any of the rules or removed by council for any reason.
Or if somebody else would like to, at that point, like, if we have applications to fill a board spot, then the board would then.
The board could consider those. Somebody could voluntarily resign. The council could also choose someone to basically kick off the board and replace them. The council always has that option.
So they don't come back after the 3 years, they don't come back before us, so we reappoint them? Is that the idea?
The idea is that depending on what the term is, and it changes as I just read off, is that we would bring them back every 2 years, every 3 years, every 4 years for council to reappoint.
So
that is not what's been happening.
Okay.
So either we need to change to that and do that, or we need to change to this and match the planning commission.
That would be a point where new people could
Yes.
apply, and when we appoint, we would have other people to select other person.
That would definitely be an option. We have been functioning under the planning commission way where, so like Trails Commission, for instance, nobody has been reappointed to Trails Commission since it was restarted. And I've been on Trails Commission as a staff liaison for 3 years. The term there is 2. So basically, we just need to decide and clean it up.
I think it might be better to let people apply, to reappoint, and then give people in the community an option to apply if they want to, so they know that there's stuff out there that they can do if they're interested. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Even if a person wants to reapply.
Yeah, if you're on it, and you want to stay on it, just, you have to reapply. And then
That way.
I'm just give an option, that's what I think.
So what I'm hearing is we should bring this back.
Yes.
For vote. What about the vacancy clause? Can we approve that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the changes that I see in there are pretty, they should be in there.
Because I believe we can scratch that first one out of the motion. Let me look at the motion real quick. Yes, we can scratch out 1, and the resolution can be approved with just 2.
Would it be clean it up, do it all at once under one resolution?
Based on what you guys are asking, I think it'll take a little bit more time to draft that language. And we're also going to have to change the city code for the planning commission. So it's not going to be, none of it's going to end up being super.
Next meeting?
Yeah. But you can just not make a motion on this and we can move on as well, if you'd rather keep it all together. All right.
We'll keep rolling at the time. All right, we'll move on to item B, resolution 1322, authorizing biannual yard waste pickup days.
Yes, so we had a recommendation come through on Facebook, actually, under the annual bulk waste pickup, asking if we could do something similar with yard waste for people who just have a difficult time or don't have the ability to take some of their leaves and things up to the forestry site. So what I've thrown together is a proposal on what that could look like and a set of rules. A lot of these, I guess it's more guidelines, a lot of these guidelines are things that I pulled from neighboring cities who have something similar. One of them was Olathe. They have a yard waste pickup program that runs weekly, so it's a little bit different. But some of their guidelines are like safety guidelines for their crews to make sure that there aren't things that are too heavy or too cumbersome for them to be able to load. And then the other thing that I want to make sure that I point out is that we would need to require people to sign up in advance so that we know where to go to pick these things up. So that I can create a map and send the crews out with that map.
So is that something we could put in like utility bill or something a month prior to?
Oh, for sure.
so that, you know, some of us feel like Facebook gets to everybody, but it doesn't get to everybody, I don't think, so we need to.
It's something we
Let
can
our
even send like a
people know.
postcard out
Okay.
about that has like.
Just some way to mail
something.
to the residents so that they would be able to have the chance to sign up for it.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about how to get that out there.
I still like the idea of it, but
The what?
like when we had a questionnaire about the trailhead, that was separate from our bill. Something like that.
Oh, that was a separate page.
Something like that, every month, let for people what's going on. That's not what that's
Of
about.
the newsletter thing.
Something separate.
Okay. Are you talking about the one that came with the bill? And
I
just
think
had the
just
big
put it all
QR
in the
code?
same, just put it in the same envelope.
Okay, perfect.
But I guess what you're looking for tonight is to approve this as something we want to do,
Yes.
and then we'll continue to,
I suggested times here, we could do it twice a year, once in April, once in November. At the forestry site, as far as like residential type of yard waste, those are the times that we see the most. People are cleaning up for spring, cleaning up for fall. I'm open to other suggestions. But that seemed like a decent place to start.
so. With that being said, you know, November's utility bill will come out. Would be
Yes.
end of November then to give the people time, or with this?
If we wanted
We
to
need
do
to
it
send
this
something
year,
out, yeah.
then yes, we would need to do that. My thought was that we start in April.
Start in April. I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that people will definitely utilize if they know about it.
So is this complete leaves?
Yep.
Yes, so we'll pick up like bagged leaves, but not in plastic, because we can't take plastic anyways. And then bundled sticks. And that's mostly just to make it to where we can pick them up and load them.
One of the things that I know that you said, what's not accepted, under what's not accepted, the storm debris, I'm assuming you mean storm debris isn't forestry.
Yes, so obviously no construction materials, if part of your porch blows off. Now, if you have small sticks that come down in a storm and you want to bundle them and put them out, then yes. Now, the big limbs, we will not pick up as part of this service. That would have to be done separately.
Which I feel like if we have a big storm or big limbs are coming down, we go around picking them up anyway.
We have done that in the past when we've had really large events with a lot of debris.
That affects a significant amount of time.
Yes.
Or we can do it, just take it to the site.
Yeah, we're just going to drop it off, we're just saying. We, where the leaves go now, we've been turning into compost and using across the city for different things.
Mayor, I move we approve resolution 1322.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Bratton, a second by Council Lady Philkin to approve resolution 1322 authorizing the biennial yard waste pickup days. Any questions or comments from council? Madam Clerk?
Councilor Mason?
Aye.
Councilor Dean?
Aye.
Councilor Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilor Ennis?
Aye.
Councilor Bratton?
Aye.
Councilor Sullivan? Aye. Councilor Coppola?
Motion carries. We'll move on to item C, resolution 1323 authorizing increase to call-out pay for volunteer firefighters.
I will apologize if you'll give me just a minute. I, for some reason, thought that Aaron would be here to present this one. Huh?
Let's name one.
Do you need this one, Sean?
Thank you. I don't know that we need to do that.
Right.
It's just if we want to.
Hang up and go back to
It's pretty simple.
Go back to something.
We just scroll down. They were just called out, as I was going to do.
Yeah, that's what it was. I got quiet.
That would be my assumption. Yeah.
As I was coming in, it goes down.
Oh, yeah. I can't say I'm surprised. Sorry, give me just a second to find it. Okay, so Miami County Board of County Commission approved the increase from 35 to 40 for emergency call and an increase in pay from 35 to 40 for public relations activities. The last time we increased call payout was in 2023 in January, and it was to match the action taken by Miami County Fire Board. So my understanding of this is that we are asking for it to match what Miami County has done, as we have done in the past.
I read it too. The only difference is, I mean, and you guys can all see it in the packet, that we're still in negotiations with the Osawatomie State Hospital since we're covering them, since they no longer have their fire department. So now we're covering them, and we are charging them for that to help cover the cost of our department and the call out pay and all the stuff we do up there. Looks like we went up there 18 times this year. Well, it says we're charging 1,000 for each time, and we've so far brought in 18 hearings.
Well, that's what I was wondering about, but it says we were billing them on a monthly basis.
Well, I think we're billing them monthly for what we use monthly.
Okay, we're billing monthly based on
Not
how many calls
that
that
year. They hit them for 35 calls or 40 calls. or whatever.
Gotcha. Not a monthly rate. You're just-
Right. I think you guys were negotiating just a flat fee at one point.
At one point, yes, I have not been updated. If that has changed, so my understanding is yes, that's still what the
What was
negotiations are.
negotiated? Okay.
Looks like this will take effect January 1st.
Yes.
I move to approve resolution 1323, increasing the call-out pay for volunteer firemen.
I second.
Got a motion by Councilman Bratton, second by Council Lady Phillips, to approve resolution 1323, authorizing the increase in call-out pay for volunteer firefighters from 35 to 50 dollars.
Is there any other questions or comments from council?
One, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Action item summary is resolution 1323, next meeting is resolution 1324.
I have it corrected.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so which one is it actually? 1323? Okay. Good catch. So, any other questions or comments about this from council? Madam Clerk?
Councilor Mason?
Aye.
Councilor Dean?
Aye.
Councilor Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilor Hennis?
Aye.
Councilor Bratton?
Aye.
Councilor Phillips? Aye. Councilor Caldwell?
Motion carries. We move on to resolution 1324, updating tourism signature events.
Last Thursday at the tourism committee, tourism voted unanimously to replace the Border War barbecue, which has not taken place since 2022, with the event Bikes Barbecue and John Brown. And so now it is up to the council to approve that recommendation.
So we're dropping the Boardwalk barbecue that we haven't had for 3 years.
Yes. And replacing it with an event that we've had, is this its third
This
year?
is their second. I think it's just the second year.
I think it's the third.
It feels like the third, I wouldn't be willing to like,
Yeah.
Bet.
It'll be the second, fourth, fifth, third,
Okay. And neither of them had any cost, well, actually, the Bikes Barbecue and John Brown's should be a lot less cost to the city.
The
Because
only
the Border
cost-
Barbecue, we had more cost setting up and setting, right?
yeah, there's a significantly reduced cost and setup, especially from like the public works side, there's a lot less labor involved. My understanding is the only money dedicated to Bikes Barbecue and John Brown, other than the general amenities that we provide, such as the trailhead, tables, chairs, those type of things. There's something with, if it earns a certain amount of money, you know what I'm talking about?
But where they're donating the money
Yes.
to John Brown Foundation?
Yes, can you speak to what that all entails? There's a certain amount that they're trying to fundraise, and we make up the difference if they don't get that amount. That is my understanding. It is not significant.
But
The city does. The city makes up the difference. So it's a fundraiser for the John Brown Foundation. There's a goal amount. If they don't reach that amount, we make up the difference from what they fundraised to that amount.
And, but isn't that from donations?
It's from the entry fees.
Right.
And
I'm trying to
donations.
raise, but what I'm saying is our signature events, or a lot of it is funded by donations from businesses and different things.
Yes.
It's not just actual cash out of general obligation.
It's also the,
If we don't have enough in donations, we have to take it either from the electric fund or from the golf.
Transport out.
So number-
Transfer out. Do we know that number?
I believe it's what John Brown, Bikes Barbecue and John Brown trying to get at. I believe it was 1,500. I believe that's
So
the
the
price.
total amount that they're wanting to donate to is 1,500, and we make up the difference of what they donate.
I believe so, but I don't want to
Okay,
quote it and I
about
can't come back with that.
Okay.
But in comparison, the budget for John Brown Jamboree and Ice on the Lake individually, I believe is 12,000. And Freedom Fest is free.
Those are all free events.
10 to 12. 10
I
to
think
12
it's up
too?
to 10.
Okay.
Those
I thought it
are,
was smaller for some reason.
those are all free events that don't have money going somewhere, correct?
Correct.
So,
My understanding for Border War Barbecue, and people who were here when it was going on are welcome to jump in, but that it also had entry fees and it also was a fundraiser for the John Brown Foundation. So Bikes Barbecue John Brown doing a similar thing is in line with that signature event and replacing it.
I was always in question on why it was a signature event, because it was something that was making money for another foundation. Because the John Brown Foundation is a separate entity, and I always questioned that when I was on the tourism board. I'd like to see the signature events be specifically free events for our community, and not tied to another entity like the John Brown Foundation. I think that if they wanted to make this an event, they should make it as a fundraiser event for the John Brown Foundation. That's my feelings about it.
We went back and forth whether certain events are free or not.
Well, what's it cost us?
Uh,
Like, what's it gonna cost us to say this is
Well, I
a
think
signature
the
bid?
max out that it could cost us is
$1,500.
If nobody shows up and nobody donates anything, then it costs us $1,500, which we take in donations for all of our signature.
And I can clarify that number and we can come back to this.
We don't take that money and put it into another entity like the John Brown Foundation.
No, I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm just saying that not always, all of them, signature events are not always free. I mean, sometimes we charge to
I
get in.
understand that, but that money usually goes back into the event in the next year.
Last I heard, by the way, just is that for Bikes Barbecue and John Brown, which is Saturday, there's 101 entrants, by the way. And I don't recall the entry fee, but it's,
$60
yeah.
per person. They also have like many items that they're giving away too. So
Okay.
how much of that
T-shirt and lunch and yeah, there's some things.
What I have in my email is that last year the city contributed 2,000 and the event raised another 1,700. So it sounds like I misunderstood, and I want to clarify that.
But you case, I mean, for what it's bringing down.
So we may have,
$2,000 isn't
Sorry.
much to pay to get people to come to town.
so it may be a $2,000 contribution that we just give to John Brown Foundation for it, or it may have been 15 this year, and that's where it got
Well,
from. The last year that was the
maybe
number.
and also for the event itself,
Right.
you know, because the event itself, it does take money to.
My understanding is that was a donation to the John Brown Foundation, not to be spent.
That's what the city used, that was the donation to the John Brown Foundation.
From the city in conjunction with that event. And then another 1,700 was raised by the event that also went to the foundations, and that's per Jennifer says.
So we do a foundation donation from the city this year?
Well, that's something, how much?
That's what happened last year. I cannot confirm what the amount is.
But it was never one of their signature events either.
Last year, it was not one of the signature events.
So the city contributes quite a bit of money to the signature events.
Yes.
Outside of that, so we probably put in a little more than $2,000 to the other.
Yes, their budgets are,
Right.
yeah, $10,000 to $12,000.
And we get donations from businesses and sponsors to help us with
And that's
that.
what that means.
And the goal from the John Brown Foundation, like you may already know, but is to develop the ghost cabin site. So that's what that money's going towards. It's not,
That's what they're raising it for right now.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought you did, but just for anybody that wasn't aware.
I'll move to approve resolution 1324.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Bratton, second by Councilman Ennis to approve Resolution 1324, updating tourism signature events. Are there any questions or comments from council? Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Mason?
Aye.
Councilmember Dean?
Aye.
Councilmember Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilmember Ennis?
Aye.
Councilmember Bratton?
Aye.
Councilmember Phillips? Aye. Councilmember Caldwell?
Nay.
Motion carries. We'll move on to item E, resolution is unnumbered because it's a no action item. It is updating our intersection control map. Michelle has placed in front of all.
Yes, there are two maps. Okay, this year, back in March, we came before you with the existing intersection control map, and we asked to update it because we were taking out the traffic signal at 6th and Pacific. That was a full-way stop traffic signal, and we replaced it with a two-way stop sign. At that time, or since that time, we've had quite a number of requests come in where of intersections that people feel are unsafe, dangerous, hard to see, and do not have control mechanisms on them. And so Chief Studeville and I, a couple weeks back, went and we drove every single stop sign in town. And I had the traffic control intersection map in front of me. And the first one I want to point out, which one I want to point out is the one where it's the blue dots. This is the map that shows all of the areas where we either had complaints or requests put in or some sort of stop sign to be placed, or where Chief and I believe that there may be a need for a stop sign. And those are all listed in this chart here on the front page of the other piece of the documentation that I've given you. And it gives you the location, what we're proposing to put there, whether it was a citizen request or whether it was identified by Studeville and I, and then our reasoning on that. And then the second map is the last time the intersection control map, when the intersection control map was developed, was in 2005. Since then, it appears that we have made some changes to our stop signs that did not get transferred over to that map. So it is not fully up to date. So all of the orange ones are just instances where what is in the field does not match the map. And that list is on the second page, and it just says what is missing on the map. These are instances where there is a stop sign in the field, but it is not on the map. So we're not asking for these to be added like new stop signs. What will happen when we bring this motion for a resolution, or this resolution for a motion, right, both those, is that we will update these so that the map is accurate and reflects appropriately. So this is more of an FYI. These are correct and need to be updated. And the blue one is the one we're proposing that we change, that I'd like you guys to look into, ask your constituents, and see how you feel about these.
But you're not asking to change any of the orange ones. You're fine with the orange ones that just need to be identified and clarified on the map.
Yes, they just need to be put on the map, and council has to approve the fact that they're there. What likely happened is a stop sign got thrown up, and and nobody thought, oh yeah, we have to bring it to council and have it updated on the map, because it's kind of a technicality. So we identified all of them so we can do that technicality at the same time as the ones that have been requested. And you're welcome, obviously, to go around and look at the orange ones and see if you think that those are appropriate. I don't think any of them are unnecessary, but they can be changed, obviously.
And these maps, this map one that's finished, we will be providing for grants and stuff where they request that we have.
This map isn't so much for grants, we could use it, it's more just we have to have a map that tells us where our traffic control is that council has
That's what I
approved.
mean, some of the grants and stuff, some, they might request, doing some kind of traffic control thing,
Yes.
you might say, well, these got stop signs, these are more than ours.
Yes, so some pedestrian grants could be interested in what our traffic flow is, and having an updated map makes it super convenient.
If you got a ticket, one of these unmarked ones, would it not be legal? Jeff,
I don't believe so, but that is a question for you.
just saying, you got 2 weeks. Okay. So what you would like is everybody go around, make sure they're good with all them, and then hopefully at the next meeting we'll pass the traffic map.
So we'd like to know beforehand, right? If we have
Usually-
to do,
Oh, if you have an issue, you're welcome to bring it to the meeting or before, either one. We can go multiple meetings discussing it if we need to, that's not a problem. There's no rush on this, it's mostly just updating it and then addressing some of the concerns that
Let me
have
see,
been
but
brought.
there's a couple of citizen requests here that I think if we can do it sooner than later to show them that we are.
And the citizen request ones, just so you know, are the ones at Leroy and Brown, 8th and Brown, 9th and Brown, and all of the uncontrolled intersections along Main Street Terrace. Main Street Terrace is 2 blocks of
Yeah.
no control.
I'll do this. Okay. Is there any other questions for Michelle? On what the number is? Okay. If not, we will move on to our added item F, discussion of videoing the meeting, the council meetings. The product that Pale uses is called an OWL, maybe I said that already. The version that Pale uses is like
It's a couple-year-old version.
Yes.
So it's called an owl because it's shaped like an owl. It's a tower. They put eyes on it for some reason. And they bought theirs in 2020 when everybody had to go online for COVID. Or shortly after that. But that's when they got theirs. So theirs is an older version. The new one, the 4 Plus, is a $2,000 piece of equipment that will hook into a laptop and it runs. And the top of it rotates to whoever is talking. And so it videos whoever's talking and it moves around. It's a little freaky with the eyes, but the 4 Plus comes with the option to turn the eyes off. So that's nice.
Whether it has eyes or not.
I will say,
Would it sit right here in the middle and would it be
we
able
would
to
need
catch
to
the
put it
crowd?
on the middle so that it can get the whole room. We have to play with it a little bit to make sure that it can actually see who's talking here, height and everything. I think I hadn't talked to Paola about it before I did a little bit of research on how we could develop something similar but piece it together. And I think the all-in-one unit is the easiest option for us and ends up being cheaper than trying to piece together microphones and cameras and have the sound system that everything plugs into to plug into the laptop, especially since we have updates to Memorial Hall coming that we had planned to make acoustics better and do those type of things. But this is a very good option to deal with what we have now.
Would it integrate into the new system into Memorial Hall once it's?
It could continue to be used, whether, either way. Part of the benefits of increasing or improving Memorial Hall's acoustics would be that then we could introduce microphones for everyone and have an actual sound system that allows everyone to hear. Because that's been the biggest complaint of the acoustics in here, is my understanding.
Would it be a live broadcast?
It can. So it hooks directly into Microsoft Teams, which I can't remember if Brett's brought this up, but we are switching from Google to Outlook or to Microsoft, and so we will have Teams. And Teams has a feature to do basically a live stream.
Have you seen one able to find to see what quality it is?
I watched a couple of their videos. I thought they were fine. They're not perfect, but it's going to be hard to have something that's perfect and crisp and clean with what we have to work with without spending the money that we were quoted. I can't remember.
It was about $80,000 to retrofit this entire building with individual mics and the cameras. That was a few years ago, but yeah.
This is what,
2,000, maybe 2,500 by the time everything, if we gotta buy a couple extra things or something.
If we needed to, I don't think we will have to.
We already have a laptop that
We can use the new laptop that the city already has, and I believe we have a lot of cords, so somewhere in the basement we can find a cord that works.
We will
If it doesn't come with one.
It's not fixed, is it? Something we set up every meeting?
Yes, it would have to be set up every meeting.
We will still use
I like that
this
better anyway.
voice recorder, just in case something goes on, we'll still have our official.
That,
minutes.
yes, that is still for the official minutes. This would not be for the
Right,
official.
and I would think in the beginning, we probably will not live stream it until we get more comfortable with it. You know,
We
just kind of
switch
see where we go
laptops.
from there.
Should be coming anytime, or it was like 1 to 2 weeks, so I think our license expires by the end of this month.
Okay, I thought maybe I wasn't sure if Microsoft was starting January 1, but
Oh.
I wouldn't want to live stream at all until we were able to just integrate it with Microsoft.
Right, so,
Can we get a resolution for the next meeting?
If you guys direct us to have a resolution, yes.
I mean, as long as the council, when we're discussing it now, unless somebody has a huge issue with doing this, I think it's probably time.
Yeah, it's not, it's probably past the time.
If not, I'm just saying that have them get a resolution for next meeting.
Well, I guess one of my questions is, who talked to the mayor?
I talked to the mayor.
You talk to the mayor.
They don't take any public comments from the World Wide Web, right?
No, that's why you don't buy it. I mean, you can turn a conference off, but, yeah, nobody would be sitting in a laptop talking, nobody would go back and forth with somebody during the live stream either way.
If they want to make a comment, they need to.
You can, the way I understand it is they put it on YouTube. Did they live? I can't remember.
They live stream it and then they put it, I think they live stream it through YouTube
Right.
and then they
It's archived.
archive it with YouTube,
Could
which
you
is
have
another
to-
option that we could do, but with it integrating with Microsoft, I think that's going to be an easier option, and then we can archive to YouTube or archive to zip drives or archive to, there's options.
I think we're required to archive it if you do it.
Yes,
Right. And I think you're required to share the whole thing if you share.
Yes. yes. Start a meeting to end a meeting.
The only problem that comes up with that is that YouTube has its own standards, so if you get somebody that starts streaming profanities or something and YouTube decides to shut it down, we don't yet know what that means. If we don't control, because if YouTube shuts down access, we can get crosswise with the AG's office, which is why a lot of the school boards are no longer live streaming until they figure that out.
Right.
So we can talk about that later.
So that's what I think, maybe, live stream in the beginning, no, probably not.
But we can record and
And then put them out, and then post them for people to see. It may just be a day or two later.
Well, you can put it while you're on it, while you're at the meeting. Like a minute away.
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure if Microsoft allows that.
Yeah.
Because if we were using Microsoft, I don't know the technical side of
right now. But it's something we can look into.
But I think as long as council's in agreement that this is something.
I think it's a good thing, because all you do is read votes and what we passed or didn't pass, you have no clue what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
But that would give you a couple of weeks to, bring in some brochures or whatever on this thing, and we could do a little more looking into it. But
And I could ask some other communities, see if they've used something different. Since you had talked to the mayor of Neola, I just went to the city manager of Neola.
School board over there.
I don't know what the school board.
Do we know what the school board uses?
It is not that. It does not have eyes. Trying to think.
It's just a stationary one camera.
It is
though,
stationary
right?
one, it's above the TV, it's streamed
Right.
through YouTube. But Wes is sitting right there at the board meeting, controlling everything.
Right.
So like he can see if anyone will comment or anything like that and manage it that way.
Spring Hill, Spring Hill School
Yes, you have to go
District
through.
is also the same thing. They have somebody who's there controlling it, and they do streaming to live, YouTube as well. But like I said, you have somebody there controlling it in case somebody gets on top of it.
The only thing I don't hear for the schools is that when somebody stands at the top, the camera is behind them.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing.
That's why I like this unit.
Yeah, the center of the room, if it is not.
Having a stationary unit doesn't work very well for the way that Memorial Hall gets used. Because we have court in here, we have people renting it for birthday parties, showers, family reunions, I mean, all kinds of things. So having a stationary camera in some area with all of its equipment is really not ideal until we can do a renovation where all of that is somehow built into like a cabinet or something. So this situation, if we could find something, either this one with the eyes turned off or something similar, I think works better for the setup that we have so that it can be put up really quickly, taken back down really quickly. And doesn't need hopefully as much use of it.
It's a lot. It's quite a bit.
I've seen him sit there and it's intense. I'm not qualified to do that. So something that's a little bit more plug and play, I think would be beneficial for us.
It's a Ye-Link brand.
Okay.
But it doesn't sound like anybody's just opposed to do it. Just kind of working out the details, so maybe by next meeting we can
Have something over.
figure out which one we want to go with.
Or at least have some options
Right.
for you to explore. Okay.
Okay. Sounds
Understood.
good. Thank you. Looks like we are council reports. I will start to my right.
I wanted to talk about how much I enjoyed the Sports Fest. They had so many different types of artists there to enjoy. Just about any kind of music. And it was a great day. And I want to thank all of those that were on the committee for that and all the volunteers. And it took, I was watching, it took quite a few people to put that on. And it was very, very enjoyable. And yes, my grandson did sing. That was his first 1 hour set. And we had a blast. The house that we were at, the people were awesome with him and hosted us with wonderful experience for the families.
Good.
Just want to remind everybody for the trunk or treat parade, the Halloween parade, and stuff like that. Of course, councilman was really wants to do it. Kathy and I are in a team up and we can't do it to her, so I would double or something like that.
She said we can have several, because she has some spots open.
And I agree with Kathy. This was, I went to the Porch Fest also. I didn't get to go last year. It's my job hours or weekends. But I took off and I do not regret it. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. So the next year I'll take off and now I'll bring you one weekend. And shares. Shares. Yeah.
No report.
I went to the trail last night for a walk, and there was a ton of people out. And I ran into a guy from Kansas City, Missouri. He said he does vacations where he rides for a week. He was saying how much he loves our trailhead and went out of his way to come to Osawatomie. So it's really cool to hear from somebody that thinks a lot of what we're doing. It brings a lot of people to town. It's surprising, but it's really, really impressive. So that's all I have.
Everybody that came from the other side of town had to go run the training, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to start getting some money for the railroad. For the most, because they're blocking, so maybe that can help pay for it with that. And I got to thinking that, I wonder if we released our rights on Parker. Parker used to go across the railroad tracks.
I'm not sure about that. When you look at the maps, we don't have right of way that crosses the railroad track there. So I'm not sure
There used to be a crossing in that park.
if that has already been relinquished or not would be my concern. I know we have had conversations with them, the one that they're interested in is us closing ground. And there would be funding connected to us closing ground.
That's the one they wanted to close 25 years ago.
It very much sounds like a repetitive conversation that I had.
Yeah, that's well.
I just second everything that they've said about Butch Fest already, and I finally found a plan to use my clean chair.
Yes, you did.
That's it. No report.
Again, Porch Fest, I was there. It was a good time. I got to see some buddies of mine that I hadn't seen in years performing. I think they said they've been practicing together for about 2 weeks, so they were ready to go for that Shawnee Banks and Dustin Powell. They were up on 10:35, so got to see them. Kathy did stop by your grandsons for a little while and down to Wilson, so really neat event. I'm like Tammy, I wasn't able to go last year, so it was good to be able to go this year. Freedom Fest, have we had any? No, we had. Was able to go to that both days this year. It's a good event. Dale?
I wasn't there Saturday, I was there Sunday.
And Kenny, I've seen most everybody there. Didn't you mention that they're kind of talking about maybe going to one day next week? Or
They
next year?
might already decided that.
Might already
I had this
decided that.
meeting.
The update to tourism, but they are going to drop the Sunday part of the event and just extend Saturday longer
Okay.
and try and do some sort of campfire
There
event
you go.
with everyone who is camping out there. Try and just continue
Continue doing it. but
the
maybe-
Saturday and not worry about the Sunday.
So that may be another way that, budget wise, that we can do more for other more different events. Cut that budget, that's what I was thinking. No, that's a good event too, so. That's all I got. Staff reports?
Fifth Street Terrace rocks down, concrete next week, and then asphalt the week after that. Everything weather permitted. But it's been going really well there. It is super nice to do a project that is more barrier without other utility conflicts and other situations happening. It's definitely allowed that project to move forward a little faster and without traffic. Nobody's moved any barricades. It's great. So that's going really well. We talked about the pedestrian bridge quite a bit already this meeting. That was my other update. So. Anything from other staff?
I think we already said a piece earlier for Humanities Month proclamation. If you haven't been to the library lately, come check us out. We're moving some things around. Not to toot my own horn, but it looks pretty good over there. I've got a really great staff, and I'm proud of what you're doing. I'd love to see it. Anything else? Sorry, movies on Vegas tomorrow. I forgot about that.
Movies on Main tomorrow?
Yes, it starts at 6:30. We'll have the big screen put up here behind Memorial Hall. We're doing Casper first, 30-minute intermission, and then Scream. We have a slate of sponsors for this event, including, I'm going to forget some, but Clinch Realty, Crown Realty, Bill Subject Service, Legacy Mechanical. They donated quite a bit of money to help make this a free event with free concessions and upgraded equipment. So
come hang out with us and watch some Halloween movies, and it'll be the best time ever.
I think that's awesome.
I did want to throw something in there, I'm sorry. Chamber of Commerce dinner we had, some of the people that won the awards and stuff were really surprised with that. Brewers, I talked to him today, and he was like, who votes on that? Who does that? You know, he was really curious as to, how,
Was he there?
Yeah, they kind of stuff like that. Our city's table was all about volunteerism. So we had volunteer opportunities. Tammy and I created some little standing frames and posted up all the volunteer opportunities that our community members could do. Took those down to the library, and Sam is going to make a display down there of all those opportunities and stuff. There was quite a few, more than the frames that I have. So yeah, I was going to take a look at that. Make sure we didn't miss any.
And then she wanted to get, but then tomorrow, Mike's barbecue on Rock is this weekend.
Plenty of things to do. All right, if we have no other reports, we'll entertain a motion for adjournment. You got it.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Bratton, second by Councilman Ennis for adjournment. All in favor, aye?
Aye.